We are at war. Vast numbers of men with the most powerful weapons of destruction that science can devise are watching one another from behind their defenses.
Hey guys, what's up? I hope you all are doing well. This video is slightly different. As you can see, I'm traveling. I'm actually going to this place called Bletchley Park. I had actually called out this place in one of my last videos, so if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It's there in the playlist. So what we are going to do is we are going to reach Bletchley Park and we are going to find out how exactly the machines were used during the World War II. Now, Bletchley Park has some of the history that is associated with it. During the World War II, when Germany and England were at loggerheads, at that particular point in time, Germany used to send coded messages, yeah, and they used to call these messages as Enigma. I mean, rather, these messages were called as Enigma messages, and England was trying hard to sort of decode those messages. And there are a lot of fantastic stories online. There is in fact a movie on Netflix called The Imitation Game. So if you haven't watched that movie, go watch it. If you are in the UK and if you are staying somewhere close in the Milton Keynes area, then I'm sure you would know about Bletchley Park, or if you haven't paid a visit yet, I think it's definitely something worth considering. So I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna ensure that I capture whatever interesting facts that I can, and I will share that with all of you. I hope that I also get to see the machine, you know, the famous machine that we all know that was created that helped to decode those Enigma messages. All right, so stay tuned. Lots of interesting stuff coming in the video. So finally we have actually reached Bletchley Park, and as you can see behind me, there is a bit of information about this place, and it says, "Welcome to Bletchley Park. During World War II and for many years afterwards, it was one of the world's best kept secrets." So let's try to see what secrets are revealed today in Bletchley Park. Code breaking process was a series of steps. The first step, as you can see here, was first to intercept the radio signals from the enemies, and then the second step was encrypt, see how those messages were encrypted, understand the encryption methodologies being used. The third was you decipher those messages, so break the encryption and understand what those messages are. The fourth again was to translate those messages. The fifth one was to cross-reference and see if there was anything else that could be inferred from those messages. And then the last one was send on the top secret intelligence that we have uncovered so that the necessary steps could be taken. So as you can see here, this was the Cipher machine that was used. And there's a small note over here which says there were thousands of such machines that were used by the German forces. Now, the way it works is when a letter is pressed on the keyboard over there, then a system of rotors and wires change it to a different letter. So in other words, there is some sort of cryptography algorithm that works behind the scenes. Yeah, so you press a letter there on the keyboard, but the letter that it translates to is something else. And that's how the encryption was done. Here you can see the machine part of it as well. Bring it a bit closer so you can see it, how it looked like. And all of those rotors and the wires that we just talked about, you can see all of it here. And just to make you understand how strong the encryption process was, this Enigma machine that we just saw could actually decipher a message in 159 million possible ways. So imagine the different permutations and combinations that you could have to decipher the message. You can see a radio set and a headset which was actually used to listen to those messages so that they could be understood. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to experience a live demo of how this radio worked and how you could actually listen to those enemy messages. So I'm going to just give it a try. As you can see here, somebody's already trying, so I'm going to wait for my turn and then I'm going to give it a try. So here you can see this is an Enigma G110 that is basically, it's a very rare model and they have still kept it. So I think this is really a great effort by the team here. So now we are actually going towards the mansion, which is one of the core areas here where all of the action happened during the World War II. And we are going to experience history here, and I'm pretty excited. I'm sure you guys are also equally excited. So let's go and check it out, what's there in the mansion. This looks like a beautiful place though. If you can see, it's all lush green, it's all garden area. But imagine being here during the World War II. And I saw one note over there at the entrance which said that if anyone entered the Bletchley Park during World War II, he had to sign a declaration saying that he is not going to disclose any information no matter what. And this was all surrounded by guards, top secret area, and therefore they had to maintain all sorts of security standards at that point in time to ensure that none of the secrets get leaked out. This is where all of that action happened during World War II. So from here you can actually see the view of the mansion. There is a small pond, and just on the other side of the pond you can see the mansion. So right in front of me is the mansion. I don't really know if they're going to allow us to go inside, but let's go and check it out and see if we can go inside. And I'm sure there would be lots of exciting things inside the mansion. I can see people going inside, so maybe we'll go from here and then check it out.
Okay. All the history of the house. Okay, on the
So this mansion was originally owned by the gentleman here in the picture, called Herbert Samuel Leon, and this was his original main home. And there's a very interesting fact over there that says that when he died, he had left over 700,000 pounds at the time when the average wage in the country was £2 a week. Now imagine with the cost of living that. This was the kind of office setup, you can say, which was there inside the mansion. And you can also see those machines, the telephone, and all bits and pieces that the officials at that point in time who were trying to work on the code needed to perform their day-to-day activities. They've even tried to probably preserve the kind of light switches that they had during that time. This is really good. And I can't imagine the kind of effort that goes in to preserve such places, which are historically so important.
We are at war. Vast numbers of men.
The audio recording that you are listening in the background is by the then Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain, who was speaking here at Mansion House on 9th of January 1940. And you can see this is a library, and one section of the library was sort of like an office. You can see some desks here, some machines, telephones, and everything that you typically see in the office during those days. So I'm going to just show you the entire section of the library. Alright, so now we are going to enter this hut, which is called as the Bombe. Bombe is actually the name of the machine that was used to speed up the process of decrypting the messages. So we have already seen this, but now let's go and check out the Bombe. So this, as you can see, was the invention of Alan Turing. I don't know how you pronounce it, whether it's Bombe or Bombe, but pretty. Here is the pic of Alan Turing, and there's a small note here which says that the reason why this machine was called as the Bombe or Bombe was sort of a derivation from the Polish word bomba, which actually means something that's really good, or even there is another meaning in Polish, which is like a round scoop of ice cream that was enjoyed by the Polish code breakers. So probably as a tribute, but like there are various theories that are put forward about why this was named as the Bombe. And this is how the Bombe machine or the Bombe machine looked like. Imagine those days when the technology was not that advanced. So obviously the size of these kind of machines was sort of quite large as compared to the technology that we have today. But still, this is a commendable effort. This is amazing.
Girls, only 4 hours to go before supper. It has been a very long day, but you must not lose your concentration at any cost.
Hey Amy, tea's out. Gordon Bennett, my eyes ache. These lights are so flippy. I don't know what's worse. The lights, the noise, the heat, or smelling of engine oil from morning till night.
And now we are in Hut 3, which is one of the most secret places in the Bletchley Park. You can see this looks like a secret place. You have lots of rooms in this hut, and in every room there is sort of an office. So for example, if you go into one of these rooms here, you can see how the offices were at that time. This used to be a very, very secret place with access to only the designated personnel.
So how does he get the reports to the front line, so to speak?
They're enciphered using a one-time pad.
So here is another sort of an office where there are multiple tables and chairs. Possibly you can relate this to something like a meeting room that we have today, where there used to be lots of discussions on the progress that was made to decipher the messages. Remember, this was a long struggle. This wasn't easy for them to break the code, and this required sustained effort from lots of people who worked day in, day out. And this is where they used to sort of huddle up, have their meetings, and decide what should be the way forward. endless stories in Bletchley Park. This is a huge park, lots of huts, a big mansion, and you can just go on and on and on and explore so many things out here. One of the most striking things that I found here is that the way they have actually preserved the history. You know, there are recordings, conversations that you can hear that sort of give you a feel of how things were during the World War II. Definitely. There are stories that talk about courage, spirit, enthusiasm, and an attitude that said, we will not give up. And I'm sure that this is going to inspire a lot of students, children who want to take up cryptography as their careers. This isn't the typical sort of videos that I make for all of you, but because we talked about cryptography and also briefly touched about Bletchley Park, Alan Turing, the mathematicians, the entire team that was working here during the World War II, I thought it would be worth visiting this place, and luckily I got a chance as well, and I thought maybe I should just show you guys about how all of that thing was done during World War II as well. So I hope you found this video useful, interesting. This is a bit of a vlogish video, I would say. Not that I'm going to start vlogging, but you know, every now and then when I find something interesting worth sharing with all of you that you can relate to as well, then why not? And that's the whole idea. So I will see you all once again in the next video. I'm going to enjoy my carrot cake now. I'm tired of just walking around the place, so I'm going to enjoy my carrot cake, and I'm going to see you guys once again in the next video. So until then, please take care of yourselves. Bye.